Well, I wanted to talk to you about the season of life that I've been in since May. In May 2024, was putting a fence up around the house and the ladder kicked out from underneath me, causing me to sever off the tip of my finger. As I sat in the back of the ambulance, I remember hearing one of the firefighters say, you're gonna have to take the emergency room because it's almost all the way off, and he's gonna need some extensive surgery. They stitched the finger shut because they couldn't really do anything with it at that time, and so they sent me home. I severed my flexor tendon completely all the way through and pulled my nerve from my finger down with the tendon. As I looked at my finger, and I felt like I looked like Frankenstein, and they were asking me to move it, and I could just barely move my finger. And they said, well, you need to do some extensive therapy. So I did a ton of therapy, and I had gotten my finger to the point where I could bend it here, and that's all I could do. I was in a kind of a dark place. Physically it hurt, but it wasn't that bad. But mentally, not being able to do the things that I could do in the past, little things around the house, swim in the swimming pool, shoot my bow. I really didn't know what my season was going to look like as far as archery would go. And as I sit here and I think about these fingers, these members of my body, I just get this thought of our ministry, right? There are so many people behind the scenes at Created Outdoors that do so many awesome things. We have prayer warriors, we have partners, we have team members, we have kids, we have all these members. And sometimes the members hurt and they're in a bad place and they're not moving like they used to. That's when these other members have all stepped up and done so much more and brought this team so much closer together. And I think when God says, be still and know, sometimes it's through a rough season. Maybe it's personal hurt. Maybe it's through a loss, a trial or tribulation. I don't know what it is for you, but as much as I have to say I hated dealing with this, I can look at that thing and I can feel it doesn't still work as I'd like it to, but I can know that God's going to use this for His glory, for a season of healing for somebody that's in a dark place. So maybe that's you today. Maybe you're stuck. Maybe you feel like you don't belong. Maybe you feel like you stick out like a sore finger. I'm here to tell you that God has a plan and a purpose for your life. And one day, when I'm dead and I'm in heaven, the sore finger that sticks out, that doesn't look like the rest anymore, that's kind of man-made, recreated, is going to be whole and unified. And I'll be with my other brothers and sisters in Christ. And that's a promise that's made to us in His gospel. I'm thankful for this season that's been hurtful, painful, a trial, a tribulation, but also it's more proof of what God can do. And I'm thankful for that. Well, as I was laid up with this finger, you can't keep a good man down. We still did food plots. We were still putting out stockpile feed blocks. We were still doing our deer thing because, man, I'd go crazy if I didn't have something to do, and I'm not good at sitting around. So we got our Moultrie cameras out. Early in the season in August, we started getting these velvet pictures of different bucks. And one in particular stuck out because he had an awesome split G2. And I thought, man, I'd love to have an opportunity on that buck. But as whitetail season approached, I remember going into the doctor and I started getting movement back in my finger. And I asked the doctor, I'm like, when can I start using this thing? He goes, you can use it. And I go, well, what can I do and what I can't do? He goes, if you use it and it hurts, don't use it. And I said, so can I shoot my bow? He said, absolutely. And I remember the spark that it brought me, saying, man, I can go home, I can shoot my bow, deer season's 2 days away, and I can get back after it. And so the 14th of October, I woke up, I looked at my trail camera, and I saw this buck stand in front of the camera, and I thought, what buck is that? I thought, oh my gosh, that's one of the deer I'd love to shoot. Literally just got cleared by the doctor to be able to get back up in a tree stand and shoot my compound. I look at my wife, I said, I am going hunting this evening. This deer's on the property, and I'm super excited to get in the stand and maybe have an opportunity at a really good buck on my own personal ground. It's time to get in the woods.
Whether you're on the campsite or the construction site, we offer various parts that will resolve your pains. From truck bed covers that will protect work gear or personal belongings, and heavy-duty truck bed racks that will help you carry big objects or take your truck outdoors for pleasure, to state-of-the-art dash cams. And our accessories are very simple to use. Whether you're worried about security or weather, Truck to Go has got you covered.
All right, it is October 13th. And it's really actually cold out. It's 47 degrees. Nothing compared to what we get during the regular season, but it is cold. It's the coldest it's been so far for this hunting season. So I anticipate the deer are going to move really well this evening. And I'm not going to be moving, so I'm putting on warmer clothing. So got the heated vest on, the Milwaukee heated vest on. And, you know, I like to be comfortable when I hunt. That's why I wear the best clothes for the opportunity that I have. So just getting dressed, getting ready to head down the road and see what we see. Should be a good evening. I'm going to hunt over the Domain bombshell tonight. Haven't sat there but one time, my first hunt of the season. Saw a couple bucks far away, nothing good. But if you ain't sitting there, you don't know what's going on. So we're going to give it a shot. And I say we're, but it's me on a solo operation. So I'm getting my boots on, getting my gear on, getting my swag on, and then I'm going to be gone. So that's what's up. Gotta do this one for my homie. It's almost 3 o'clock. Let's go. Urban deer. That's the key word. They're smart. They're alert. Their senses are like no other. They know how to live in backyards, infested woods with coyotes, industrial settings. Maybe we'll get a glimpse of this guy tonight. Lord willing. Carpe diem, boys. Carpe diem. I know that Derek and Steve are hunting tonight too, so good luck, boys. I hope you get one down. Let's get after it.
go somewhere. Thank you very much. Oh, what are you doing? Alright, you don't see too many big 6-pointers. There's one right there on that camera screen. It kind of got me the shakes, the biggest buck I've seen on the hoof this year. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Got my blood pumping. I was hoping his big brother would be hanging out with him, but not yet. Smoke City. It's early. Oh my gosh. Smoke City. Comes in, lays a scrape right in front of me. At 11 yards. How could you not? Oh man. Holy smokes. Let's check this out. Look at this. I knew he was in here this morning. He was hanging out with that 6. There he is, right there. And now, he's laying over there dead, about 40 yards. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. Look at that.
Any short-sighted spy in the field can provide you with images. Only the Moultrie Edge 2 cell cams provide tactical reconnaissance. High-resolution photos and videos paired with detailed intel of where game is most active. Built for simplicity, just turn on your Edge 2 cell cam and it will auto-connect to one of the 4 major cellular networks, while our easy-to-use app arms you with game plan, so you can determine where and when to hunt. Don't just capture images, gather intelligence.
All right, so it's time to get down and trail this deer. We recover this deer, and all the emotions of May to now, it hit me like a ton of bricks. You know, the first thing I did was call my wife, like I always do, and I told her, I said, Deegan's home, I'm coming to get Deegan. I went and got Deegan. I called my buddy Jay Stewart from Maverick Drone Service. And I called him, I was like, hey, you've been wanting to try that drone, come bring that thing down, let's find this deer. I know he's dead, I know I smoked him. So Jay came down and helped me recover the deer. And I had Deegan and Jay and myself, and it was a celebration. Ain't that a cute little vessel?
This is my little hoopty, man.
That's perfect for this. All right, follow me down the road.
I will, man.
So I own all the way down to the next tower, but all the way over to the next road. It's like one of them UFOs. It's a big old body deer. Heck yeah, man. All right, well, here's my 2024 buck, man. Super proud of him. Got a bunch of pictures of him. Had pictures of him this morning on the Moultrie. Knew that he was in the area and decided to go in and not be greedy, man. Last year I struggled, and this year I just wanted to take what the good Lord gave me, and he gave me a trophy. I mean, any deer you kill with a bow is a trophy, and I'll take this 140-inch Ohio Bruiser any day of the week. He came and put on a show, and God blessed us, so awesome. A big bodied buck, big mature, awesome 147-inch Ohio stud on my own property. Shot him at 10 yards out of a scrape, and man, God does give you the desires of your heart. You know, it's not a deer. A deer doesn't change my life. I've got tons of deer hanging on my wall, and I'm thinking about it right now. Like, I've probably got 20 mounts that are hanging on a wall. And I could look at each one of those deer and tell you a story of who I was with, who helped me recover them, and all that. And I bring it back to say this, that none of these deer that ever hung on my wall made a difference in my life. They're all a great story. They're a great blessing that God gave me. But the only thing that ever made a difference in my life that hung was Jesus Christ, who hung on the cross for me. As I close this episode out, I want you to reflect. I want you to think about where you are in your life. Do you know Christ as your Lord and Savior? I might be a little bold, I might be a little in your face with this, but I'm that way because I care genuinely about whoever's going to watch this episode. We are a ministry. We love Jesus because Jesus loved us first. And we're thankful for that. We're thankful for that in this season. And as we celebrate and wrap up this episode, we want to give glory to where glory is due, and He's the only thing that's glorious in our life, and we want to acknowledge that. So we're looking forward for the sequel, the next season coming up. and it's gonna knock your shoes off, and we're excited about this new direction. So God bless.